Hey, welcome to my mid-side miking demo. This is my miking setup. I have an AT-2050 set in the 8 figure of 8 pattern, and it's a MXL 991, very cheap mic used for the mid mic. I have them hanging upside down. I recorded an acoustic guitar, and basically I just needed to get them lower so that their mid mic was pointed more at the sound hole of the acoustic guitar. So here's the setup. You can see that the MXL is ending right in the middle of the capsule for the 2050, and it's this direction. It's centered underneath the capsule of the 2050. The 2050, again, from this view, would be picking up to the left and to the right with the null point pointed straight at the camera, and then the 991 would be picking up the mid. The 991 is attached to a single mic stand. It's attached using the hardware from my pop filter. From there, the two microphones, let me get another angle here. The two microphones feed right into my ART Pro MPA2. The mid mic is going to the left channel, and the side mic is going to the right channel. You can see they're still plugged in and turned on. You can see my settings on there. Nothing spectacular. I have the low cut filter all the way off. Here's the side mic. I need a little bit more gain on here, but that makes sense because it's pointed away from the signal source itself. From there I feed them straight into Cakewalk. No other compression or anything in the signal chain. And here is my fancy Cakewalk setup. I don't have any screen capture software, so you're going to have to bear with me just by shooting my camera at the screen here. So what I did was I recorded a guitar chord progression using my microphone setup. I have the top track is the mid microphone, the center microphone, and then the bottom two tracks are the side microphone. The second track, track number 2 and track number 3, are recorded from the same input from the microphone. The only difference is that track number 3 has the inversion set on, so that you get a phase inverted duplicate of track number 2. That's how you get the side microphones to work and give you the stereo spread. So what I did was I've got the chord progression here. This first, so it's I think 8 measures, a little over 8 measures, 10 measures or so, and I just copied and pasted it a number of times. The first version of it doesn't have the side microphones, so you can see you can hear it with just the mid mic. The second iteration, I bring in the side microphones, just straight, no compression, no EQ, no other tricks other than the panning. That I forgot to mention that. Track 2 is panned to the left, track 3 is panned to the right, and then track 3 also has the phase inversion. Because the image seemed to be off to the left, what I did on this third iteration was I brought it over to the right. I centered it using the master bus, using some automation in the master bus, but that dropped the levels, so I increased the level. That's the only difference on there. It's just levels and centering. This third iteration, I found some information online that discussed how the stereo spectrum isn't quite as wide as it could be, and they suggested boosting the EQ and dropping the EQ. So what you do is you boost the bass 4 dB in the left or right side signal with a corresponding cut in the left or right or mid signal. You actually use 2 dB at 600 Hertz in both the left, and then another plus 2 dB at 600 in the right. That gives you a total boost of 4 dB, and then you drop the center by 4 dB at 600 Hertz. So this iteration here, I've done that. I also found that by dropping, putting a high pass filter at 150 Hertz even increased that effect more on just the center mic. So that's the automation you see there. This second to the last iteration, I've used the Cakewalk channel tools to further control the width of each of the different channels. So I applied a zero width to this one, just straight down the middle with zero width. It focuses the signal just in the center of the stereo bus. This one I've adjusted it so that it will only play in the left half of the stereo bus, and this one should only play in the right half of the stereo bus. And then the final iteration, what I've done here is I've gone in and I've dropped the level of the side mics by another 6.5 dB, just to kind of focus it more, not make it such a pronounced stereo width microphone setting. So with that said, I'm at my first marker here, and we're going to go.